This video is going to highlight a powerful plugin called Widget Logic. Widget Logic allows you to have control over your sidebar widgets in a way you may have only dreamed of. With this plugin, you're able to configure a widget to show up on certain pages and not on others. Now this happens when you set it for certain conditions. For example, if a certain condition exists, then the widget shows up. Otherwise, it's hidden. A good example is, say, if you run a members website, you can have an item in a text widget only show up on a page of your choosing if the person is logged in. Otherwise, they're not logged in, they don't see that widget. Now let's go ahead and install and activate this Widget Logic plugin and then take a look at some of the magic behind the curtain. So let's navigate over to the Add New Plugins in the Plugin submenu and then search for Widget Logic. Click on Search Plugins. Top one, click on Install Now. Click on OK. Activate. And that's basically it. Now, I also want to point out the site. So let's open this up in a new tab. This gives you a little more information, just like the other points that I've made about the plugins websites, that if you are looking for additional information here that I'm not covering in my video, then by all means check these guys out. Now, what makes this function is something within WordPress called conditional tags. And if we come on back here, and in appearance, if we go to widgets, each one of the widgets now, like for example the calendar widget, let's bring this into our primary widget area. You can see each one of these now has an additional field titled Widget Logic, and in here is where you insert the conditional tags that tell this particular widget, in this case calendar, to show up where you want it to when you want it to. So with this left blank, this is just a typical everyday calendar that will show up on any and all pages. For example, if we open this up into a new tab, this is our home page. Go to the About page. It's everywhere just like it normally would. Now, let's say we only want this calendar to show up on the About page and not on any other page. Well, let's head on back here and enter the condition for that. To do that, since I have no way memorized all these conditions, there's a bazillion of them, let's head on over to wordpress.org and show you a list or where you can find out more information about all the condition tags you can use within your Widget Logic plugin. If we come on back here to this site, by the way, this is a conditional tag. For example, right here is single is one, is underscore home with the parentheses, that's another one. But let's head on over here. I think this is, okay, yeah, here's the plugin directory page for Widget Logic. And right here, if we open this up in a new tab, will bring us to a list of all of the conditional tags and a little bit of an explanation of those. Now, you're more than welcome to spend a little bit of time, quite possibly a lot of time, here learning more about what all these particular conditional tags can do. What I'm going to do though is I'm just going to cover a couple of them. One of them is called is underscore page, and inside the parentheses you can list the page ID number that you want it to show up on. For example, let's head on over here and just type in is, and inside the parentheses we're going to add a couple of double quotes or a couple of quotes, and inside the quotes we're going to add the page ID of the About page. So where was that again? That's right. About. So if we look down here in the status bar, when I hover over this, you can see page ID equals 2. That's the page we want. For Contact Us, it's page 42. The home page is just home. So we're going to put in the number 2 right in here and click on Save. So now then, when we come back here, we're on the home page now. If we refresh this, the calendar should go away. And it does. Contact us should be no calendar. About should be the calendar. Boom. How cool is that? Now then, if you were to add an exclamation mark in front of this, then it would show up on every page except that. Click on Save. Come on back here. Refresh. Everything except this page. So now that it should be on the Contact Us page. Boom. And the home page. Boom. How cool is that? So if you've got, like I said, a members area, and on the download page or where you have things set up for your particular member level to log in and download their goodies, you can have a text widget set up with additional downloads in that particular widget, or the downloads for that particular month, or however you have your site set up. And if that person is logged in and able to get to that page, then and only then will that particular widget show up. If they're not logged in, if they're not able to get to that download page, then it doesn't show up. Pretty simple. And that's just one of many conditional tags that you can work with. So I just wanted to briefly show you the plugin, how it works with the widgets, and how you can manipulate the power behind each of those widgets, especially the text widget, which you can insert HTML code, arbitrary text. If you're familiar with text widgets at all, then you know all the goodies you can add to this, and combine that with the power of widget logic and the conditional tags that you can find more about here under codex.wordpress.org/conditional tags. Don't forget the underscore. You've got a world of power at your hands using this widget logic plugin and your sidebar widgets. That's going to bring us to the end of this video on widget logic.